Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time that you are watching today's conversation. So happy to have you guys on. If you happen to be logging on the replay while watching the replay, definitely go ahead and type in hashtag replay right now. My name is Letitia Campbell, and I'm your number one email marketing strategist and thought leader. And my amazing co-host, who is our brand strategist, is going to be hopping on in just a second. His name is Miyoko Taylor. I'm about to say Miyoko Brown. I don't know where I got the Brown from, but anyway, I'm changing this man's last name. But hello, everybody. So I'm super excited as always for another awesome topic, for another awesome conversation. Huge shout out to our show producer, Therese. She's down there sharing out the live. She's down there managing the comments and doing all the things she does for the show. And we are so beyond appreciative of her. So if you missed yesterday's conversation, definitely take the time sometime today to go over and check it out because it was really good. Miyoko and I were discussing yesterday that some of these broadcasts we're going to take down. Definitely put it in our digital library because they're just really good. And these are starting to turn into trainings. You guys have been giving us some great responses, some amazing feedback. And we're so excited that you guys are joining us in this journey. So before I get started with today's conversation, I want to make a huge announcement. Once again, we have 3 in-person seats. Yes, 3 in-person seats. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, right? The number 3. We have 3 in-person seats left for our Your Brand, Your Breakthrough tour. We're going to be kicking it off in New York on August 16th. Definitely do not want to miss this event. It's going to be on August 16th here in New York. So if you want to grab an in-person ticket, go ahead to yourbrandyourbreakthrough.com. If you're like, hey, listen, I can't make it in person, you can join us virtually. You could definitely grab your virtual ticket for our Your Brand, Your Breakthrough Evolution event by going to the yourbrandyourbreakthrough.com and go ahead and grab your ticket. All right. So let's go and talk. If you're joining us live, I see a couple of y'all just logged on. Go ahead and do me a quick favor and type in hashtag live right now. Again, if you're watching on a replay, go ahead and type in hashtag replay. So we have a great conversation today. I want to ask y'all a question and just be honest. I feel it's just my lived experience, 2 cents. Not everybody's fully confident, 1,000% in all areas of their lives, right? I feel like confidence is like a skill. You're always improving your confidence. You can have confidence, but confidence can be at different levels. There's different levels of confidence. I'm a confident woman, but I can always increase my confidence, right? I can always increase my confidence, right? So it's a skill that we constantly have to work on every day. So I want y'all to type in 1 in the chat. Just be honest and transparent. Let me know. Go ahead and type 1 in the chat if you want help increasing your confidence. Go ahead and type 1 in the chat if you want help increasing your confidence. And while you guys are typing that in, I do have a slide to pull up. I did it through PowerPoint this time, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it up for you guys. Go ahead and type 1 if you want to increase your confidence. Increase your confidence. Go ahead and type in number 1. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share this screen here. All right, go to window. All right. Okay, I think we got it. All right. So now I am not going to be able to see you guys, but I know Therese is going to pull up the your comments. So I will see your comments here on my phone. So please forgive me. So let me just make sure the screen is showing how I want it to show. And we might have to do something. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to set this up so I'm able to see the screen here. So give me 1 more second, y'all. Let me stop sharing, and I want to download this as an image. Y'all. I want to download this. Yes. Again, y'all, go ahead and type in 1 if you want to increase your confidence. I want to help you guys out with that today. All right. Let me just go ahead and pull this up again. I think I see Diane. Hey, Diane. How you doing, sis? Thank you for hopping on. All right, y'all, give me one more second, and then we're going to be good to go. We're going to be good to go. I just want to turn this into a different type of file so that way I'm able to see StreamYard and you guys. I don't want to, because I have to still switch it up a little bit. Okay. Come on in the room, y'all. Come on in the room. This is going to be another awesome conversation. So come on in the room. And Therese, when you have a moment, drop Miyoko a quick message. I know he's having some weather issues by where he's at. All right, y'all, let me go ahead and get this diagram pulled up. And the reason why I like to pull up, hey, Diane, the reason why I like to have different diagrams and images, because it gives what we're saying more context, okay? It gives what we're saying more context. It gives it visualization. So we love visualization because we notice that it really, really helps you guys out tremendously, okay? So we are good to go. I think we're good. Now I'm going to pull it up. Yes, I think we're cooking. I think we're cooking. I think we're cooking. I think this is good. All right. Yes. Here we go. Now we have it up. Okay, perfect. All right, there we go. See, I like it better like this. Thank you so much, Therese. Thank you, love. All right, so again, today's conversation is about confidence, right? Confidence begins where clarity starts. Confidence begins when clarity starts for you. Okay, so that's very much so important. So again, go ahead and type 1 in the chat for those of you who feel like you want to increase your confidence. Why is this important? Because I just want to share, Miyoko and I want to share today with you guys how to lead your brands and your market with certainty. When you're confident, you're certain. Right? No matter what level of confidence you are, when you're more confident, you're more certain. You're more certain in everything that you're doing. You're more certain in what you're saying. You're way more certain in your delivery. And that's the goal. That is the goal. And that is the mission, right? But here's the thing. You must have these 3 things in order to help increase your confidence, in order to help own your identity in your business. You must have trust. You must have define what your identity looks like. And again, last but not least, you got to build that confidence strength up. It's definitely a skill that you have to build up each and every day. I do think I see Miyoko down here, but his camera's not on, so we're just going to wait for him to get that camera on, y'all. So again, those of you who just hopped on, hey, there he is. Hi.
This lagging internet. Oh.
I was saying that your weather is probably acting up today. I know y'all had some bad weather.
It's gonna storm. It's gonna storm again today.
Oh my gosh!
I think sometime tomorrow.
Wow. We're gonna definitely.
I think we're good on Saturday.
Yes, definitely gonna be praying for you, brother. So
look at you with the graphics.
Hey, yeah. Well, I did this through PowerPoint. I shared yesterday. Stephanie. I'm a PowerPoint girl. I love PowerPoint. But yeah, so we have Stephanie on. We have Diane on.
Welcome, Stephanie. Welcome, Diane.
Yes. Welcome, ladies. Thank you guys for coming. And I asked the question. This is why they're putting in 1. I asked them, do they feel that they want to increase their confidence? Want to increase their confidence in discovering what in owning their identity. So that's what we're talking about today, guys. And I'm really, really excited about today's topic, right? I want to ask you a question, Miyoko. Has there ever been a point in your business, right, when you were discovering your identity as an entrepreneur?
I think for me, I think I was always focused on one thing. I knew I was going to do something that was different from everybody else. I was going to help a lot of people. I was going to be very successful at helping a lot of people. And it was going to be in alignment with who I was and what I wanted to do in my own life. So to say that I had an identity problem, what I will say is, man, this is about to get deep. So some people will come across your path or in your life that may alter or try to challenge the course of your identity when it comes to your business and when it comes to yourself, because we're talking about personal branding. So I don't want us to forget that personal part about it.
Right.
I feel like when you know who you are as a person,
Mhm.
when you know who you are as far as what value you want to bring to the world, what
Mhm.
you're passionate about, I think if you stay solid on that, the
Mhm.
entrepreneurial stuff really becomes a whole
Becomes
lot
a whole
easier.
lot Mhm.
But what happens with us is we go into these businesses and we're not really sure of who we are, what we want to
Right.
represent, what we're
Right.
passionate about.
Right.
And we hit a roadblock in our business.
Mhm.
Now it's
Mhm.
just like, okay, I don't know what type of audience I serve best.
Mm.
I don't have
Mm.
I don't have maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe I don't have enough experience. Maybe somebody's more
Mm.
experienced than me.
Right.
So now what you're doing now when you start to have this self-doubt, now you start to question your identity and who you really
Right.
are in your business.
Right.
Just like this is what we're really talking about.
Oh,
When you're
yes.
not sure of who you are in your business,
Right.
usually it's deeper than that. You're not sure of who you are with the value you bring to the marketplace or to the world, period.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that was definitely deep. And it's so interesting you mentioned all that because it brings us to our first point, which is the first way to try to own your identity, to really possess it, is to trust. It's to
Mm,
trust, right?
mhm.
Before people can trust your brand, you must trust your own voice. So you mentioned something very key. That's so sabotage, or people think like, am I enough? Do people really want to hear what I have to say? Do I trust in what I'm saying? Do I
Mhm.
believe in what I'm saying? Why am I doing this business in the first place, right? So we always have to make sure that we trust our own voice. It's a must. That's why I put
Right,
must in front.
right.
It's a must. It's a necessity,
So
because we all have a voice. Go ahead.
I have a question to ask you, and I'm going to ask all the people here, and I'm going to even ask myself, who or what caused you to stop trusting in yourself or to
Wow.
shake your trust in yourself?
Right. Well, I know
Because
my
the
go
lack
ahead.
of trust is doubt.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doubting yourself. So,
Right.
who or what caused you to doubt yourself? What experience? What situation?
Wow. 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 Wow, that's a retreat level conversation. That's a level, but I honestly say for me, it had to been other people close to me in my life.
Okay.
Definitely, you know what I
Okay.
mean.
Mhm.
That I allowed, because I have to hold myself accountable, right? I allowed to, allow me to take myself off focus from my
Right.
goals. And I'm always been an extremely driven person. Like
Mhm.
people would tell you, Letitia never starts stuff and don't finish it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so and you and I are very similar in that way for sure. But the part where I had to go deeper, right, or share more, open up more, especially to my audience,
Mhm.
I definitely allowed other people, in my life to prevent myself from doing that for sure. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Because here's what happens, right? We may have a certain level of trust in ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and there may be some shadow of doubt there anyway. What
Mm-hmm.
happens is a person comes along that is very close to us,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times they shouldn't be as close as they are, but we don't know that yet.
Mm-hmm.
We find that out later. And
Mm-hmm.
then we ask ourselves disempowering questions. It's never an empowering question. It's
Mm-mm.
always, what if they are right? What if
Ooh.
I'm not doing what I should be doing? What if
Right,
it
right,
doesn't work?
right,
What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not smart enough?
right.
Well, we never flip that around and say, what happens if I am good enough?
Mm.
What if I am smart enough?
Mhm.
What happens if I take this to the highest level of however I can take it? What does life look like for me?
That's right.
Like, what are things going to be like? We always ask the questions that prove to us that we shouldn't trust ourselves. It's the
Mhm.
craziest thing.
Mhm.
But this is how our mind works. We'll start to, well, maybe they're right. Well, what if I'm not this? What if I'm not that? It's never,
Right.
what if I am that? What if I am this? What if I can do all these other things? So it's kind of re-engineering those questions that we ask ourselves,
Right.
because something along the line comes to where it causes us to ask the wrong questions.
That's right. It's interesting you said that, because as I was, every morning I wake up after I read my Bible, I go in my notebook and I literally sit and I write out my intention for the day. And what are my three? I asked myself, Tisha, what are your three intentions for today? Like, so I wrote it out differently as if I've already done it. You know what I'm saying? So I shifted that. Instead of saying I want to do it, I say, well, this is what I'm going to accomplish today. Right. Oh, Stephanie said, for me, I have I don't know enough. I am a constant learner. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Stephanie, I'm going to say this. And if you don't know me, I get on myself. I get on Letitia. I get on.
Yes,
It's all love. It's all love here. So
yes,
you're a constant learner. So I'm going to ask you this. Does this mean you're a constant implementer?
I like that.
You can learn a lot of things. There's unlimited amount of books, coaching, training, all types of different things. You're saying, for me, I have the I don't know enough. But if you're applying what you know and it's good stuff, you're gonna see different shifts in your life.
Yeah.
Which are gonna cause you to actually regain confidence and trust yourself. So when you say I don't know enough, do you feel as though that is something that is always keeping you stuck because you feel like you have to learn something new? Because if that's the case, you can't possibly be applying everything that you're learning.
Oh, I was just thinking that too, because so many of us, we stay learning and feeling like we don't know enough. And you're so right. Are you applying? And that's where leadership comes to, Miyoko, is that great leaders and thought leaders apply what they learn. So we never feel like it's not enough. We're literally learning something and then applying it, learning something and applying it. It's almost like the laundry machine. You're constantly going through those cycles. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
It's interesting because I was telling myself this and even now just talking. If I don't learn anything else about leadership, if I don't learn anything else about entrepreneurship, and I just applied what I've learned, I will be good for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. So you and me both.
Oftentimes, it's not that we need to learn more. We need to apply more.
Yes. Yes.
It's the discipline and the focus. These things allow us to trust in ourselves. Why? Because if we stay disciplined and we stay focused and we apply what we learn, we see the results that we desire. We see the results that we desire. Now it's just like, hey, I trust myself more because I'm taking these actions towards my business and I'm starting to see results, be it money, be it clients, be it growing as a thought leader. That's what causes us to trust in ourselves. We start to see patterns of the things that we want and we desire.
That's right. That's right.
And we can stay on that for the whole time.
We sure can, because, type in the chat, guys, if this is something you need help with. Trust, that trust word, trusting yourself, trusting your own voice. These are so important.
I was going to say, why is it in relationships? I always use this example, right?
Yep.
When a man or a woman, they have this disconnect, and then it's just like, we don't the trust is gone, right? That's one of the statements we'll make. Oh, I don't trust him.
Yep.
The main thing we say, how do you get trust back? Oh, well, they got to be consistent, right? Actions speak louder than words. Why don't we apply that to ourselves in our business?
Ooh, ain't that the truth? That is the truth. Oh,
if you don't trust yourself, right? Obviously, you're not consistent with something that is causing you to distrust yourself. So I'm going to say to myself, to you, and to everyone else listening, if actions speak louder than words, and then when coming to relationships, actions definitely speak louder than words when it comes to business.
That's right.
Now look yourself in the mirror and see if you're consistent with your actions.
That's right. That's right. Bam. I know we're rattling the table, which I love that you mentioned that, because it brings us to our next point, is to how to define your identity, define your core values, your why, your transformation story, because people buy certainty, not confusion. So this
Right.
is interesting because when I was pulling up the notes for today's show, I was looking at my old why when I first started my business, and I was like, wow, that why is definitely outdated. Those core values I had, or does it apply today? So I always, I want to tell those of you who are watching, look at that, look at your values, your why, your even transformation story, and ask it, does it apply to today? I know my transformation story still applies because I still am honed into that. Because every time I share it, I get emotional. But my values and my why is shifting, is evolving.
Of course, you're evolving. That's why.
That's fair.
As you evolve, your values evolve. Your drive evolves. Your mission, everything evolves. The true essence of your values and principles stay there, but how you're going to show up, it evolves. Right. We're supposed to constantly be growing, right? And the problem is we don't spend enough time on ourselves. I just had this conversation with someone before I got on this call. And a lot of what I do is emotional intelligence based.
Yes, you do.
I don't show people, and this is why defining your transformational story, your core values is very, very important. Because a lot of people come to me and they come to me and someone wants to fix their relationships. Right. One of the first things I say, I am not going to give you advice on how to fix your relationship.
That's right.
I'm going to show you how to work on you.
That's right. That is
give you the tools. And as a result, it's going to improve all of your relationships.
That's right.
Because if you don't know you, and you don't have you straight, and you don't know what defines you, your transformational story, your core values, where you come from, then how you connect with people is going to be it's going to be a great disconnect anyway.
Right.
What I'm saying to each and every one of you is make sure you spend enough time on yourself. And not so much time on courses and programs and trainings and all those things that just take you further away from yourself. I think we had a comment that came up, Letitia.
Yes, I want to go back to that last one. Which one is this one here? Thanks, Therese. She said, I have purchased programs and have not completed them. Shiny object syndrome. Yeah, we all had it. Yeah. And the next one is
I spend a lot of time analyzing my emotions, my thoughts. Okay, all right. So let's cover the first one. I love the feedback from the audience. All right.
Yes.
I have purchased programs and have not completed them. Shiny object syndrome. The reason why you purchase programs and have not completed them, and you have shiny object syndrome, because those programs were not emotionally connected to the result that you wanted.
Bam.
It was probably like, okay, I'll help you make more money, or I'll help you gain more confidence. But if there is no direct emotional, relational connection between you and that person selling that program and the desire that you really want, you're not going to complete that program because you don't hurt bad enough to actually apply the information in that program. Here's what I mean. One of my close friends, a colleague, came to me, and he came to me because he was in a state of crisis. And my point is, we don't really actually move the needle until we're feeling some type of pain.
Yes, right.
All right. So when you purchase that program, the pain, whatever drove you to get that program, the pain it didn't hurt bad enough.
Right.
When you have a marriage on the line, when you're about to lose your home, when you're completely disconnected from yourself, or you're successful outwardly, but inside you feel like you're dying.
Oh, wow.
These particular things, they drive change. Those things really, really hurt.
Yes, it does.
So when you have situations like that in your life, now you become desperate for change. Change can't be something that sounds nice, feels a little nice. Change is something that has to be, I've got to do this yesterday.
Yeah.
And I've been there with the shiny object syndrome. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks, it's like you're window shopping at the mall.
Yeah.
That looks good. Oh, I'll pick this up. I'll pick this up. So you're really like you're at like a flea market of training programs and coaching programs. You're just picking a little this, picking a little there, picking a little this, picking a little there. But nothing's going on. But let me tell you something. You start hurting, and one of those programs is completely aligned with what is causing you pain. I can guarantee you're going to do that program.
That's right. You're going to do it. You're going to do it to its completion. That's huge, because that will save so many people in itself so much money. But do you feel, and I'm not even going to ask this question because you already answered it. It really starts with us.
Sure.
You know, it really starts with us. And that's the whole foundation of what you're saying. It's like we start and don't finish because we don't have that emotional connection.
No.
And this is, yeah.
And we don't like doing what's uncomfortable until it becomes unbearable.
That's deep.
We don't like doing what's uncomfortable until it becomes unbearable.
That's right.
Where it's just like, oh man, this is messing with my health. Oh, this is messing with my relationship. I can't sleep. Like, this is really, really screwing with my life now.
Yeah.
So now I have to do something about it.
Yeah. And for me, and this is why I started working with you and being mentored by you, is because I felt at a point where things got unbearable and I felt unfulfilled.
Right.
Definitely.
You had a crisis. You had a breaking point in your life. This is where all of us can probably go back to a story where we were at a very low period in our life. And because of that, it forced us to make a change.
Yes.
It forced us to make a change.
Yes.
And this is part of your transformational story. When you identify what that place in your life is and how that identifies with what you do as a business owner.
100%.
That's part of it. Like, these things shape our values. And a lot of times they give you the realization of what your why is for your business. You know, but let's be honest, when life is going well and things are going great, we don't really look to change particular things about ourselves.
No.
That's just not how it's designed. Like, if you even look through passages of scripture, through personal development books, adversity has always been a driver for wisdom, for transformation, for realization, and for execution on something you should have done a long time ago.
That's right. That's right.
It's just designed that way.
Yep.
And this is your story. I'm literally giving you a way how to like put together your transformational story. All these elements are in your transformational story, what make you you. So we can go to the next comment. I know we're spending a lot of time on it, but this is so good.
It's really, really good. Her last comment was, I spent a lot of time analyzing myself, my emotions, my thoughts, etc.
Okay. Analyzing yourself, analyzing your emotions, analyzing your thoughts.
Wasn't I just doing this last time?
Yes, you were. So my question is
and I still didn't get there. Go ahead.
Question would be, 1, why would you do it? Why do you do that? 2, what are the results you're getting from it? And then 3, what triggers you to do such?
Right.
Because why and what triggers you, you're going to give me 2 different answers from just those questions. They sound the same, but they're a little different.
Right.
Are you analyzing yourself because you don't feel like you did say you don't feel like you know enough. So that's another reason why you're analyzing yourself.
Right. Your
emotions and your thoughts. These are good comments. And it just goes to show you, when it comes to personal branding in your business, 80% internal, 20% tactical.
Absolutely.
We talked about that yesterday.
Yes, we did.
These are the things that are really keeping all of you back from making the money you want in your business, attracting the type of clients, and actually separating yourself from everybody else as a thought leader. These are a lot of the things. As you can see, a lot of the things are not tactical. They're internal. They're emotional. They're mental. We can go into the third one.
Yes, the third one is confidence. You know, confidence in personal branding means you no longer shrink to fit into someone else's box. Right. We always, you know, me and my other client was talking about this the other day. There's so many people out there that say, well, this is how it should be. in order for you to get this, or this is what you're supposed to. And a lot of us, we don't want to fit, we don't want to shrink and fit into the norms. You know what I'm saying? Of discovering what our identity is. And I'm guilty of that in the beginning, you know, being coached and mentored by certain people that are that way. It's like, okay, this is a cookie cutter way. And then we work that way for a while. And yeah, you know, you may make some money doing that. You know what I mean? Obviously. But then at some point you break. You crack that shell. I know we talked about the mask and all that, but that's, you know, those of you come to our event, you're gonna know more about that. But it's that saying, you know what, I don't want to, this is not how I want to show up. This is not how I want to market. This is not how I want to present or speak or launch. You know, I want to do it this way. Because again, our identity is like our you mentioned this before, it's like our fingerprint. We all have a different fingerprint.
Right. It's our signature. Yeah.
We all have a different signature. Yeah, signature, you know. And none of our signatures are the same. Even if you try to sketch mine, it's something that's going to be off if they were to do a side by side. So when you have when you have that confidence in your personal branding, you don't feel like, I know for me personally, especially from working with you, I don't feel like I have to keep up with everybody or watch, you know, keep up with everybody's doing. Right. It's like, go ahead.
You're saying some very key things. And here's the problem. And here's what we do. We don't spend enough time on ourselves, right?
Yes.
So what happens is we invest all these thousands of dollars into these gurus, right? To these coaches, and they're able to put us in a box because we don't really know enough about ourselves.
Right, correct.
So they'll say, so hey, here's what you need. You need to do this. We're going to stick you here. We're going to stick you there. We're going to stick you there. And you're going to be like, oh man, okay, cool. That sounds cool. So now they have you on a pathway that you never should have been on in the first place. Had you trusted who you are, but defined who you are. Defining who you are, defining your story, then trusting in that. So when they come along, now they have to work and they have to compliment you.
Yes.
As far as how you trust in yourself, how you define your business. Now they can only coach you and help you based on what you've already secured as a foundation. But we don't have that stuff. We don't have that knowledge yet. And we come to these coaches and then they can easily mold us into what they want us to be, which is almost always far, far away from who we really are.
That's
and what our value is in our business.
This is confirmation from I had a conversation with a client yesterday, and she wanted to hire a team. She wanted to start hiring in a team and get that going. And I told her, hold off, because I really want her to work with us. In, you know, I'll talk to you about that later, as something more high level, because you said this key. A person spends what, 10 grand on a nice, well-made website or funnel. And then you go on their social media, they're not marketing anything. But they have everything. They have the list, the funnel, the site, the colors, everything. I'm talking about, we used to call it back in the day, business in a box. You know, that's
it's not aligned.
We did everything. But then like a month goes by, 6 months go by, and it's like,
it's
okay,
not aligned.
Crickets.
It's not aligned.
So well. I'll be right back. I got to get my charger.
No problem. It's not aligned in to your case in point. It's not aligned when you have a situation where you are doing these particular things. You're spending thousands of dollars on a website, thousands of dollars on these funnels, bunches of money on the coaches. You have all that together. You have high premium, top of the line brand, so to speak, and then you don't move on it. You start to look at it and it's not in alignment with who you are. It doesn't represent your values. It doesn't represent your principles. You're not even selling or offering the service that you want. It just doesn't feel completely relational to what you want to represent. Now what you've done is you spent all this money, you put all this money into your branding, into your marketing, into your sales. And now you have to go back and retract everything. And this is why it's really important to define who you are, what your values and your principles are, how you want to show up, what your unique selling proposition is, how you're helping people, the problems you solve. Because if you don't know any of this stuff, I can't blame them. They're coming along and they're doing their job.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
If you can't tell them
yeah.
how to, if you can't articulate who you are and what you want,
Right.
they're gonna do it for you.
Yep.
So you're gonna spend $10,000. They're gonna set everything up, and then as you realize, as you come into the realization of things, this is not how I want to be represented.
Right.
Now you just spent $10,000 on somebody guessing or making an assumption of how you should be showing up in your market.
That's right.
That's an expensive assumption.
That is very expensive assumption. And I said the example, people laugh at this all the time, but it's true. It's almost like you got a beautiful dress and you try it on and you're like, oh my God, this is too small or too big, or it's not the right fit. And that's how we feel, especially from a woman's perspective, when we're out there marketing, like, oh, does this look right? Does this sound right? You always want people to go back and check your page or check your live constantly, instead of saying, listen, I got up, I did it, I gave great information, I posted great information. Now let me move on to following up on the back end. You know, it's that confidence, you know, and it's sad, but it's true. Like you said, those individuals, they are doing their job. We're not bashing anybody or anything like that. You know, it's really up to us. This is why our events, our Your Brand, Your Breakthrough Evolution Tour is so important, because this is where you're going to get that insight on trusting yourself more, defining your core values and who you are more. And that's so that way you can walk in any room, any space with confidence. Know, stop saying, well, I don't think I can do that, or I'm not sure if I'm the right fit to talk on an interview at that podcast. I had somebody told me this a month ago. They were like, well, I'm going to wait till I start getting more consistent to show up, you know, on a podcast, on an interview. No, we decide to miss out on opportunities because we don't have confidence. You know,
I can almost guarantee you that person gave you a fear-based response.
Of course. I've done that too, fear-based response. I mean, I've done that with you 1,000 times. You'd be like, you got to talk about this. I'm like, you know, it's that. But this is why I say that owning your identity is like a muscle. You got to really practice it every day and don't lose it. Because the minute that you stop practicing owning your identity, what's going to happen is that you're going to end up being distracted. And more often than not, we drift away from our goals when that happens.
And when you question your identity, now you don't have as much clarity. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people harp on marketing, sales, and confidence and all that stuff. It all begins with having clarity. Because if you have clarity, you can identify clearly what you're doing, what you're not doing, how to implement a particular strategy. What do you need to focus on? What you don't need to focus on. When you're unclear, you just start throwing everything at the wall, seeing what sticks.
Yep.
So owning your identity, I love the statement, confidence begins when clarity starts, because when you're clear about something, you're sure.
Yes.
That's when the trust comes. When you're clear about how you define yourself, how you show up, your story. Now you're confident. So now you can walk in a room and somebody say, hey, do you mind? Nope. It doesn't align with my values, my principles. I know who I am. I trust myself. This is my identity. And what you'll see is people will start to gravitate to you.
Yeah.
This clarity brings connection as well.
Oh, that is so true.
Have you ever met somebody that knows exactly who they are, what they represent? Some people may hate them, but some people may love them, and they don't care because they own who they are. Those are the type of people that light up the room when they walk in it, because they are 100% secure in who they are and what they represent.
That's right.
That's owning your identity.
That's right.
Being a thought leader. That's being somebody that stands in the forefront.
That's right.
Notice you don't have to compete with anybody else.
Nope, you don't. You don't. Competing is definitely a distraction. I want to end it off though with this quote and a question for you guys, which is, your personal brand is how you show up when no one is clapping, right? But the question is, are you still bold enough to speak up, post, and share, even when nobody's clapping? Because I hear that a lot from people. I tried this out for a couple months and didn't get no engagement, didn't get nobody to sign up, things like that.
Man, you about to start something else. we'll never end this live if we go into this, because I'm gonna tell you.
Yes, but that's just something I want them to end, and it can anchor our next
All right, so I gotta give
conversation
them a
for next
question. You
week.
know how I
Go
am.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
When you post, are you posting because it's your mission,
Mm-hmm.
your message, or are you posting for a reaction?
Mission, message, or reaction. Y'all comment, because that's one thing Miyoko and I talked about yesterday. We want y'all definitely feedback on this.
Yes.
That's a good question.
Are
That's
you posting for a reaction or for some form of validation? And have you not yet validated yourself in your message? This is where trust and defining and confidence comes in.
Why and you want go ahead.
No, I'm finished. Why are you posting?
You and I are we come from like the old school generation of the internet, right? Where we did in fact just post and put information out there. Yep. We live now, and I was talking to my kids about this. This is why I don't have them on the internet. We live now in such a validated place. You know what I mean? Where the Instagram, the TikTok, all these things, everybody's wants that attention and that engagement, and that's what we feed off of. And it's not like before where it's like, okay, let's just give great value. You know, right. Let's just share what we have to say. Let's, you know, put a line in the sand of what our point of view is and see what other people believe.
You're talking about the validation loop, and we'll get into that some other time. But social media is definitely a toxic validator.
Yes, big time. Big time. Big time. But we want to definitely shift that for you guys, because if you're in that whole, you know, validation wheel, or in that toxic place of business where you feel like you need that in order to move ahead, you need that, you know, in order to get going, you definitely need to be a part of our tour. You definitely need to join us for our tour. It's amazing. We have one comment coming through. I want to definitely get to Stephanie's comment. Teresa, if you could put that up. She's definitely engaging. We love that. She said, I post things I find valuable to educate or encourage others.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Great point. Yes. My thing is, do it consistently. Do it consistently, for sure.
My question would be to educate and encourage others to do what?
Ooh.
What are you educating and encouraging them to do?
Yes.
Is it to follow you? Is it to understand who you are, understand your mission, your message? I don't know what service or products you provide, Stephanie, but I mean, those would be questions I would ask you. What are you encouraging and educating them to do?
Great point. Great question. That is good. And all of you who are watching, if you're watching this on a replay, you can definitely answer that as well. Feel free to do so, because that is a really, really good question.
I don't know if you have a ticket, Stephanie. I don't know where you're at, but
she's gonna get it soon.
You need to get a ticket.
She's gonna get it today. Yes. So again, if y'all haven't, you know, purchase your ticket yet for Your Brand, Your Breakthrough tour, we're going to be in New York on August 16th. Make sure you do by going to yourbrandyourbreakthrough.com. Okay, it's going to be a phenomenal event. Like me and Miyoko and I keep saying, you know, 80% of what we do is self-development. As an entrepreneur, we all need self-development. One of the things I realized is that in the beginning of my entrepreneur journey, I always used to see a lot of people who were up there going on retreats and doing things, because you need that time. You need to be a part of events where it's all about doing the groundwork for you. Yes, you know, we're going to talk about strategy, all the typical stuff, obviously, but that's going to be 20% of the conversation. 80% of it is going to be about you. Getting back to getting reconnected to you, which most of you, I know, disconnected yourself from yourself. I know I have. I almost like pulled the plug.
I've been there.
Yes. Stephanie says she's in North Carolina. Awesome. Okay, you could join us virtually, sis. We have virtual tickets. So
North Carolina. We do have an event in Georgia. We have an event in Maryland.
Yep.
North Carolina isn't too far from Maryland.
It's like in the middle, right? I don't have a map up.
It's not too far. My dad was from North Carolina. It's not too far.
Really? That's good to know.
You got Maryland, you got Virginia, and then you got North Carolina.
There you go. And I think Teresa's in North Carolina as well. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A lot of people from the NC, baby.
Listen, we might have to take a trip to the Carolinas.
Yeah, we may have to do that. There's a lot of people in the Carolinas. Yeah, for next year we'll do that. But definitely y'all can meet it. Just, drive out. It's good to get in your car and drive. It's just good. Or get on a plane and fly. I know Miyoko's afraid of flying, but
you know what? All right, so let me. I don't like flying. I will get on a plane. I do like flying though. It's not. She's right. I do not like flying at all. But full transparency, when we did this tour and these events, a lot of them are in different states. You got to get on the plane. It is what it is.
Gotta get on there. Okay. So listen, y'all, this has been another amazing conversation. We definitely want y'all to share in the chat what are some of the things you want us to talk about on this show. We love you guys' feedback and point of view and share, because we have a lot to share. Trust me, we have a lot of great things to share. Thought leadership, personal branding, emotional intelligence, all the things. But definitely let us know what are some areas you feel like you need help with that you want us to add to the show information content, especially for August. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Diane, Stephanie, all of you who hopped on. Replay viewers, we love y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye, guys.